Good morning and welcome to the Global Trade Insights. Today we are discussing an ongoing economic battle affecting business. On both sides of the border, the tax war between the United States and Mexico, with recent increases in tariffs and trade tensions rising. How does this impact industries, jobs, and consumers? We have an expert panel here to break down for us. Let's dive in. Today we are going to discuss the ongoing tax war between the US and Mexico. This trade dispute has significant effects on business, economies, and consumers in both countries. Let's hear from our representatives about the issue. To start, can each of you briefly introduce your instance?
U.S. Representative.
Hi, I'm the U.S. representative. The United States has implemented tariffs on Mexican exports to protect American industries and reduce the trade deficit. We believe these measures are necessary to encourage fair trade.
Mexican representative.
Mexico strongly opposes against these tariffs as they harm an economy and disrupt our supply chains. We believe in free trade and cooperation between our nations.
American business owner.
My company relies on Mexican imports for production, and these tariffs are increasing costs. If this continues, it could lead to layoffs and higher prices for consumers.
Mexican business owner.
My business exports agricultural products to the US, and these tariffs make it hard to compete. Farmers and workers in Mexico are suffering as a result.
Now let's take a step back. How did this tax war begin?
This tax war started when the U.S. noticed a significant trade imbalance with Mexico. To counteract this, tariffs were imposed on steel, aluminum, and other goods. The goal was to incentivize American production and jobs.
However, the US failed to consider the interconnectedness of our economies. Mexico responded with retaliatory tariffs on American goods like pork, apples, and bourbon.
Exactly. When Mexico retaliated, my business took a hit. Supply chains don't change overnight, so we are forced to either absorb costs or pass them into consumers.
And it's not just businesses. Families in Mexico rely on exports to survive. The sudden increase in costs means fewer salaries and financial hardships.
So, what are the biggest consequences of this tax war?
Higher tariffs mean higher production costs. My company has to let go 10 workers last year. We can't afford to keep absorbing costs, and customers don't want to pay more.
My agricultural exports dropped by 15% since the tariffs were imposed. Many small farmers are struggling to compete, and some are shutting down.
But we must think long-term. The tariffs are encouraging companies to bring production back to the U.S., creating jobs here instead of relying on foreign goods.
But that's not happening as quickly as the US claims. In the meantime, both economies are suffering, and cooperation, not tariffs, is the answer.
So, what are the potential solutions for this dispute?
A potential solution would be that the U.S. could negotiate trade agreements that ensure fair labor practices and environmental protections that will gradually reduce tariffs.
Mexico, of course, is open to negotiations, but there needs to be a commitment to free trade. Lowering tariffs will stabilize both economies.
A compromise is necessary. If we phase out tariffs gradually, business will have time to adjust without sudden disruptions.
I agree. Policies that promote collaboration rather than competition will benefit everyone.
It's clear that the tax war between the US and Mexico has complex impacts on the business, governments, and everyday people. While each side has valid points, finding a balanced approach is crucial for economic stability. Thank you all for your insights.